Thank you so much, Joe, and thank you, everyone. It's been a real pleasure to be a part of all this. When I decided that I would do what I call DIBM, because I love acronyms, delighting in being me, because me means everything. That's been almost a lifetime journey for me so far. And I've turned 65 a couple of months ago. At 30, I decided age was just a number and I would grow wiser and more youthful. Okay. There's been a few turning points for me. Next week, I would have been 42 years married for the first time. Well, I got married for the first time 42 years ago. Little did I ever think back then that I would finish up a single mum with 6 children, 5 sons and 1 daughter, being the eldest of 5 girls and 1 boy. And very much these last 12 months, as I've been embarking on my new career as a pillar practitioner and very keen to speak and share my message out there for the world, it's still an ongoing journey. This year I was to be house sitting and I end up living with family because I'd sold my family home a few years ago. I've been travelling and toing and froing my mother in the Hunter Valley. I now reside in Canberra, where I moved there 22 years ago with my former husband, our 6 children, then at the ages of 17 down to 3. I did believe that not a fairy tale, but I believe that when I got married that it would be something to continually work at and enjoy, and that it was a journey. Never did I think in my wildest dreams that I would finish up divorce, and especially in a strong Catholic family household back then. However, 15, 16 years ago, I was suffocating. Suffocating in who I was. I was keeping the family together. Some of my eldest sons had challenging substance abuse. My aging parents and even more aging in-laws who I was very close to. And I had a family to keep, and my former husband's business was keeping him away a lot of the time. So I was single parenting really way back then, travelling between Canberra and the Hunter Valley. Thank God the M7 came in and we had a little bit quicker trip, because are we there yet? Are we there yet? I'm hungry. Anyhow, all of that aside, it's like now I look back and think, have I really actually done all that? As I said, I was starting to feel so suffocated. I thought, I know there's more to me. I know there's more to my life. My mother had said to me when we were moving to Canberra, she said, you can do more with your commerce degree and your business experience. But she always kept saying, you need to be there for the children. You need to be there for the children. So I had left the business world and got in very much full-time rearing especially my last 2 children when we were away from family and support, starting a whole new life in Canberra. 5 months after my mother keeping on saying, you can do more with your qualifications, at her 70th birthday, I got up and told the family that I had very much furthered my studies and I had awarded myself a PhD in living with first class honours. Little did I know that would go on to a further life studies in life and overcoming obstacles within the family and leaving myself to last. I've believed for many, many years in the power of the words we use, be they in thought, word or spoken. So I was doing my very best to stay uplifted, and I've always been very good at sharing uplifting stories, experiences, support for others. But as I became immersed in the murkies of what was unravelling in what I thought would be an incredible long-lasting marriage, I neglected myself, putting everyone else ahead of me, because I thought that's what you do as a mother. That's what you do as a wife. Then along the way, I found out that my only brother was abused by a former parish priest, and there was cover-up within the Catholic Church. I had already at that stage started to see beyond what I felt were the Catholic dogmas, and I believe very much in the original meaning of the word Catholic as universal, and had come to believe 25 more years ago that faith is God universal given, and religion is a man-made phenomena. I have the utmost respect for humanity and Mother Earth. However, I saw beyond what I had been brainwashed in in the womb and generations before. Mind you, in the late 1980s, from 1987, I was the first female on the Diocesan Finance Council of the Catholic Church of the Maitland Newcastle Diocese. Little did I know that the then Vicar General was the one who covered up my brother's abuse and the abuse of so many others. So with all of this, Helen kept on doing what she has done best, and that's being there to support her children, her extended family, both on her own birth side and former husband's side, and friends, and neglecting myself to a fair degree. And I thought it's time to take on some of the words of wisdom I share with others. I was a client at what was the pillar practice back in 2012, and believing that there was more to me, more to my well-being, and seeing what blocks I could clear moving forward, because I knew I would be doing something more once the children had grown into adulthood and I had separated and then finally divorced. Little did I know, as an initial client before the Pillar Code, the amazing relatively new modality, almost 9 years on the planet, came through. Little did I know I would train in that as a pillar practitioner. There's the why this, why me, why now, you know, the elevator pitch. Well, this has not been an elevator pitch these last 12 months, as I've come to terms with the fact that I was homeless, in the middle of embarking on a new career, and technologically challenged while I completed my licensing requirements, and moving between families while my new Canberra base was in the process of coming about. And I thought, what am I doing this for? Helen, you're 65. Yes, so what? I love life and I've got a whole life left in me. I love to travel. Yeah, that's been shut down at the moment, but there's all of regional Australia. And you know what you can share. And the inner dialogue with me, even though I knew what I knew, there was some residue from past where I was put down for my belief in a far better world, in the fact that there is more within us. We do have the power within us, and life is meant to be lived and enjoyed rather than one of suffering and mere existence. So the why this, why me, why now is because I believe so very strongly in the pillar code. The angst and the pain and the grief that it would have assisted myself all those years back when, before it was even through here onto the earth plane. And then to come across the abuse and what victims of abuse live with, and to be able to be free of that, to decode our past, to have the acceptance of what was, to have the awareness of where we are now, and to have the gratitude for what of it all, and to move forward with peace, purpose, and prosperity. And the fact that internally, no matter what goes on in our external world, we do have ultimate choice and control within ourselves with how we choose to be. So it was some years ago, and I was doing my morning practices of gratitude and breathing exercises, and I looked out at the glorious day ahead of me at 5:30 in the morning, and I thought, I'm choosing to delight in being. And I came inside and I went to write it down, and I thought, take that internally, hun, and delight in being me. Because me is a beautiful acronym that we have through the pillar code, which is me means everything. If I am good with me, just as I am, free of all judgment, full of love and compassion, and share that and see that in each and every human being. There's a saying I came up with, it was around the time of the tsunami, what was it, back in 2007, I think, Boxing Day. And I thought, oh my goodness, it is time for the gentle tsunami of goodness to pervade the world. When you stop and think about it, we as human beings are 70% water. The Earth's surface is 70% water. And I'm not sure if any of you are aware of Professor Masaru Emoto's research into the hidden messages of water. Water has memory. Water is living. And within and without us, on our external, putting love, peace, joy, fulfillment, purpose, prosperity within ourselves and without, we can have that gentle tsunami of goodness pervading the world much sooner rather than later. Thank you.